This is a good idea. Let me put my contacts in. Maybe that way you don't get Dr. Tongue's 3D. That's for all the old people out there. Old, young, old. There we go. Don't feel that age is a thing. Okay, so looking at my welcome to live chat. Remember to keep our community guidelines. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Now, let's go back to Zoom. Hmm. Well, realistically, I can't see a damn thing if I go back to Zoom. So you and I are learning at the same time. Okay, there we go. We're recorded live. Okay. So the reason why I'm doing this is simply because I think it's time that I start doing my thoughts out loud about CPIPM and about breath work while I get ready for work. Because I picked up a couple shifts at PharMysticist in Courtney, BC. It's the one downtown. Not asking people to visit me. That's not a cool thing. Um, unless you're getting a prescription. Then of course, please do. And then you get to see my morning transformation. Although that happens mostly with my breath work in the morning, which is amazing. I never thought that that would actually make a difference, really. But spending the money, getting the headsets, I would love to support other people wanting to get into this here in the Valley because we can have different target audiences in that respect. Like there's opportunities to get more healing done in the community overall, right? So that's where I'm aiming. But I thought that instead of having these things in my head, I would share that with the public, record it, and then maybe we'll actually get some non-scripted, no teleprompter kind of uh, videos because I can't keep my thoughts together since I have so many at one time. I think a lot of you can relate. And yeah, maybe this is an opportunity we all can relate. Although I'm not on YouTube at the same time, I can't really interact with any questions live time. I suspect that if I did this on Facebook, this would be a lot easier, but we're going to go with Zoom since I can record it and Yeah, go with that. So if I kept your interest or just getting your interest, CPIPM. Let's work on my elevator pitch. So I'm a pharmacist that burnt out over a year and a half ago now. It was back in last May, although realistically, I had burnt out long before that. So all the health professionals out there, um, if you start feeling going, man, I'm exhausted, and every day is this, like, there's no reprieve, you're already burnt out. You're done. You may as well take a vacation and reassess. For all those doctors, nurses, chiropractors, pick your healing. In fact, if you can, put it in the chat, your healing practice that is exhausting and seems that nobody cares, especially your boss, or you work for the health authority and you're just a number. Let's just say, for example, or say for just for the sake of argument, that they do care. They just don't have any opportunity to show you. So what if you walked into work thinking, my boss really does care, but they don't have the capability or the communication skills to show me. I'm well valued. I do an awesome job. I have certain freedoms in my job that I wouldn't get elsewhere. I got certain benefits. And maybe some of this extra stress is because I don't say no enough, or I don't live enough in my alignment, I guess is the way of saying it. It's funny, in my head I have all the words, but when I'm talking out loud, this is good practice for me. So back to the point, I was burnt out, and it took me 3 months to get my brain back to functioning instead of a walking zombie with a cotton head. All of the women out there who anywhere from the age of 40, maybe even younger, depending on where you're at, starting at even 35, which I didn't know as a pharmacist, I should have, but I didn't, can be going through menopause or perimenopause. And you're technically in menopause the day it's been a year after your period. So I haven't had to worry about watching my period because I had an IUD for the first time in my life when I was like 48. Anyway, when I was in the middle of doing my pharmacy thing, highly stressed, guess what happened to me? I went through menopause. And I can understand why men don't really understand it because you don't go through that kind of thing, but you have your own hormone rebalance. And this is a time of the crone. This is actually very liberating if you can get past those hormone symptoms. So for everyone out there, if your friend is acting like a teenage brat, female, or identifying with female and taking the hormones, I suspect. And actually, if you are trans and from male, if you're trans female, I'm curious if you go through these kind of things because you're having to put hormones into your system. If you're used to having, are you in chronic menopause? I mean, I think of it this way. Our physicians, our medical system doesn't really hold on to these kind of, there's no real way of monitoring or looking up in our regular system. I'm sure that there is better ways to look this up through more holistic ways of getting, I'd love to hear more about that too, more holistic ways of finding out where your hormones are. And I'd hate to think that trans women get more hormone monitoring than someone who's having a midlife crisis. Because, if I were 40 and feeling like a 13-year-old who isn't understood, can't communicate, angry all the time, sometimes horny, sometimes not, there's no real balance, I would have just thought I was messed up. I would have never thought it was hormones. That could be the next 10 years of figuring out how to live with lower estrogen, progesterone, etc. I was lucky that it didn't happen until after 50. I know, I'm a gorgeous 50 plus. I get it all the time. But the point being is that this is another reason why I feel that cpipm.ca is really needed. We need to have choice. I don't even know where to look. I'm a pharmacist. I have no idea where to look for monitoring my hormones or biosimilars. What doctor's doing this? I don't. So, I made this website because I have a need. I have my pain points. But I also hear it from my friends. Like, let's get infinite.com. I call them friends. I don't know what they call me. Who are out on the Sunshine Coast and in Vancouver area. Got fabulous classes, but it's the same people showing up. So their healing modality is not getting out there to masses, to the people who could be seeing some significant change. I love the fact that they have a community. I love showing up to the community at 6:30 every morning, and we have a little dance to whatever song they pick. Sometimes I'm questioning where they're picking them from, but I show up. Gives me incentive to get up at 6:20 at the very least, if I'm not already up. So community's bringing it for me. And they're not the only ones that I feel that should be seen a little bit more, and really need to be seen more. And that's what I'm hoping to do with CPIPM, is give them some marketing opportunities and a second site that will be of vetted professionals across Canada, right? That people will start to realize that this is where we go for healing. So if I want a $3,000 retreat, that's where I'm going to go, because they've been vetted, they've been inspected, they've been whatever, right? I don't have to go searching for myself. We've done the work. As soon as I get a few more advisory council members. And then there are opportunities like Carol and Tanya do, that there's free offers, discounted offers. And by the way, if you go to letsgetinfinite.com, their soul blueprint is an amazing tool. Amazing tool, super cheap. They pay the big bucks to have the tool. You just pay for the output for you or your family, you and your family or your partner, whatever it is. And wow, gene keys, I'd never heard of those. And we're looking at shadow, anyway, I'm on a different tangent. Point is that they have amazing courses. They're fabulous people, and they shouldn't be, because of that, they should not be doing side jobs that are not in alignment with making more courses, one-to-one coaching, but they are amazing at group integration. So after you take a course, you're invited to show up at least once a month to talk about what's happened since the course. Right? Which gave me the structure, the concept of having Sundays drop in. So this is influenced by Carol and Tanya from Let's Get Infinite. They're probably my biggest influence. That Sundays 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. I'm going to have anybody who takes my 9D breathwork course class of any sort, if it's going to be a series or an individual, you're invited to have this drop in. If nobody shows up by 7:30, I go have breakfast, whatever, right? We'll do a little bit of breath work to start off, sit down and talk about what's new, build a community. Point number 2 with CPIPM, constant encouragement for building community locally. So if I'm a public member of CPIPM, not a practitioner, but somebody who's looking for help and comes across the website, I will be encouraged to find my neighbors or find somebody in the community that CPIPM is building for me that lives near me. So that when we do attend live, right, we get extra discounts if there's, say, 3 of us on the screen. If you have 10 people, right, we might even, given the opportunity, because I'm going to be putting a good chunk of money back in as a social enterprise, we might even give the incentive of, if you can get 10 people in your living room and on the screen watching us, watching this live webinar, we will pay you. That's what I would like to see. It ain't going to happen tomorrow, but right? The idea is building in person, online, regular chatting, getting to know each other, supporting each other, keeping each other accountable, etc. Communities, right? That's the whole idea. Okay, let's continue my makeup journey. Welcome to my life. My morning. How's the hair in the back? For all the hairdressers out there, I have this wave maker. I don't really have much of a wave. Oh, it's backwards. I'm sorry. It says wave maker. Totally to die for texturizing beach spray. It basically smells like sugar, so I can't wear it in the summertime, but I love it. So me, who has fine hair, it smells amazing, can do something like this. And it looks structured, not like I'm trying to have dreads. Well, I guess you can always give me the opinion on. You can always give me your opinion if this is not looking good. I like it, but it smells amazing. But, and here I'm not even advertising for them, this is not available anymore. So I've been using it sparingly. Nice scalp, eh? So anybody out there who has an equivalent or something like this, I would love to hear about it. I just realized it'd probably be better if I tipped it this way, since I'm constantly looking down. Whatever. It's more that you're hearing me. And I'm learning technology. Yeah, that doesn't work. Hold your breakfast. There you go. Still gonna be looking down at most of it. Okay. If I look back later, I can see how good or bad my hair is. So where was I now? talking about the second point about CPIPM in communities. Right. So my job with Jamie Black, who might not be very happy with me doing a non-professional kind of live on the YouTube channel, but I figure I'm going to do it to give myself the practice and the confidence, and maybe we'll have some marketing material out of it. And we can always take it down. It's better to do something that's non-harming, but something that might potentially be embarrassing and then erase it. So that's not true on most things in life, but in general, I encourage it. You know, if I want to build community, I got to start showing up, right? Well, this is one way of showing up, is my morning thoughts. I can't share my 9D breath work that I do pretty much every morning, but I have it on Zoom for friends. And if I can really commit to at least Mondays and Thursdays to get up and be there for everybody for 6:45. So an hour ago, which I was, because I was up at 6. Maybe I'll publicize it. I'll put a link to my Monday and Thursday 6:45 Pacific Standard Time 9D breathwork morning. It was awesome. I have a couple of them that I'm probably going to really, really use. 9 minutes, 3 sessions or 3 sections of breathing, just in the belly and the chest, just let it go. And then breath hold with squeezing. I used to do that as a kid. Where did I go wrong? Anyway, okay. Part of showing up. Everybody needs to have an opportunity to show up. Like, how many promises do we make and not? Yeah, I'll be there. And don't even call. Because in that time, at the moment of promising, you're either wanting to be supportive or really intended on being at whatever you're promising to be at. Things come up. It's all good. It's the way I don't hold any grudges to people who can't show up to things that they said that they would. Right. And so all I ask you is, how often do you do that? Because if you're not committing or following up in your commitments, then how can you trust yourself when you know that you do that? So start saying no to things that you really don't think you're going to show up to. And no is a full sentence. People ask you why, just go, I'm just not going to be able, whatever. I'm not even going to give you the script. It's you who decides to do that. Okay. CPIPM. We need the elevator pitch. In the back room, this is where practitioners. Now, I originally came up with this, so let's not imprint this in your head. Do I have a caveat here? Could I put captions on here? This is not a psychedelic assisted therapy site. It's like 10%, right? Just like yoga and massage is going to be 10%, and men's health is going to be, I don't know, 10%. I don't know. I haven't built it. I built it. I haven't got the practitioners. And until I know who's going to be on board and in line with the mission and vision of the website, I don't know what it's going to be made of. I might very well get nothing but, which is fine for now, I might get nothing but sound bath for the next 2 months. Or I never heard of this before, but there is one person who contacted me who has a native head massage. That sounds interesting. I wouldn't mind trying. But I won't know what the website is going to look like until I have people joining. Which, if you're going to ask the price, we're asking everybody who wants to be a member coming in as a founding provider or a founding council member. Founding council members are actually going to get payment back when we start making some money. The bonus to founding practitioners is that you get in on the ground floor and get an opinion on what we're using for apps. Like if we make a booking app, if we use certain software that helps you, and how we're going to do the marketing together. Like you get early access to making decisions on that. Our council, I'll get to the price in a second. Our council is website decisions. Like they are going to help me onboard the practitioners by vetting them, by talking to them on the phone, by finding out if they are legitimate by their license and their university, or by their community, by their website, by their credentials through social networks, or even visiting their practice, right? So nobody's getting an AI version. This is all going to be human and all about connection, because AI is great for solving problems. It's great for solving a problem and helping you through something. But healing happens with people. Okay. So that's my firm belief. We can heal ourselves by ourselves, but not alone. And I spend a lot of time alone. But I have every morning, I make a concerted effort to show up to dance party at 6:30. Soul Spa on Wednesday at 7 a.m. And get out in the community whenever I can. I've actually, 9D breathwork, they actually have a really good ecosystem for that kind of thing. They really do take care of their facility, their facilitators. Oh, this is actually kind of good. I can test it out where I'm at. Anybody else getting older and realizing that your face is not aging the same? Anyway. Wish I could rewind this part. There is something to be said about scripting. Let's see. In between, let's see if I can get some. What am I looking at? Oh, besides me. No. Let's find some music. What's it? Yeah, there it is. I thought this was fabulous.
20 hours back every week just by delegating work.
Okay, so I canceled.
Want to know who really runs my 40-person company? Oh. It's not me.
Hopefully this will play through. This is a really beautiful song. But while I get my thoughts.
I'm not the wound, I'm not the fall, not the silence, not the wall. I'm not the night they couldn't see. I'm the best me rising free. I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to be.
Okay, well, there's another learning. There's another lesson how to share. I was actually making this quiet so that I wasn't making noise in the background. Let's start that over again so we get a full song.
I'm not the wound, I'm not the fall, not the silence, not the war. I'm not the night they couldn't see. I'm the best me rising free. I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to be. Each step I take, I shift, I rise. The past dissolves before my eyes. I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to be. Each step I take, I shift, I rise. The past dissolves before my eyes. Not the moment, not the mark. I am more than what went dark. I hold the sun behind my skin. I plant the truth and grow within. I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I choose to be. Each breath I take, I shift, I rise. The story ends, the soul flies. I'm not what happened to me. I know say too much. I lift the veil, I walk as light. Solumentura, I rise beyond. Rahmino Satina.
I didn't tell anyone at first, but this silly little Jello recipe
There we go. Okay. See, what is it? I don't remember my face being this off. Don't want to start advocating for, I don't like this about my body, so I'm going to go get it taken care of medically. However, I would like my eyes to be aging the same rate. This isn't right. It's not even right when I go up. Oy. So could use a little bit of help with this. Sure, there's even makeup consultants out there that I could get some help with this as well. At best, I've been able to just darken one, which in the videos, then it just doesn't. Yeah, I got way more lit on this one. I'll start pulling this one down. It is what it is. Okay, I'm getting pinged. Let's see. What's being said? Wouldn't that be hilarious if my technical director said, "Get off of YouTube"? What did I have to get off of the media anyway, because I gotta get my butt over to nope. Oh, my Zoom meeting this morning was locked. Okay. I'm very sorry. There we go. Sorry for that momentary interlude. More lashes. Okay, so the last few minutes here. CPIPM is about community. Okay, so I left off on the psychedelic assisted therapy. So during my burnout, I took multiple classes that I still haven't even taken. I paid through Numinous like in 2024, never got to them. And then I took my my certification, my advanced certification through Atmasina. And I just felt that at that point, I've already gone a little bit above that. So the psychedelic assisted therapy. So that's where I saw, okay, here's an opportunity. It's illegal, except for ketamine. And I'm all about choice, which is CPIPM again. Point number 3, giving people choice on how they heal themselves. And so I believe in psychedelic therapy. I don't believe it should be used recreationally, simply because that's how it got banned in the first place. I also don't think, and my practitioners might have a problem with it, I don't think everybody should have to pay $300 or $500 a session. But at the same time, enough people who are able to get it, we could probably make it more affordable for most. And it's not a case of quantity over quality. Right now, it is just quality, and some people just risking their licenses or risking getting arrested, right? They're professional in their own right because they've been doing it for years. Like ayahuasca ceremonies happen here on the island. You don't have to go to Peru or Costa Rica, wherever, right? Which is good, because anytime we have retreats in Canada, you get integration and community here, because I suspect there'll be more Canadians showing up. Great if international people come in, but I suspect that more people can afford to drive up the street or spend a couple hours getting to somewhere versus 18-hour flights and delays and the cost of flights and hotels, etc. Right? Wow, what a concept. You can get healing here in Canada, our beautiful country, and possibly honor our land at the same time, right? Let's face it, psychedelic trips, we do appreciate what's around us, and we do connect with Mother Earth, right? We are built of stars, etc. Right? The truth is, and boy, do I say right a lot. Anybody that does video editing, anybody who does video editing, I would love to have you on board and show me how many times I say right. Anyway, we connect, we are part of it. The only thing that's different is how our molecules are put together, right? And we have a soul. I believe we're a soul with a body experience versus a body looking for a soul experience. And I'm all about quantum physics. who proves what, Walter Russell, Carl Jung, Einstein. Yeah, he wasn't quite, he felt that there was a spooky thing. He wasn't in quantum physics like Stephen Hawking, but Carl Jung and shadows, etc. Like he was onto something, and now quantum physics is showing it. And there's Neville Goddard. Oh, come on, people, give me some more names of people who were talking basically quantum physics. And Kabbalah, I'm following Kabbalah, David Guillaume, because he's fabulous. Pay what you can. And I care less about the money, but I have to pay for a team and I have a family to support. So I am going to ask you to pay for what I know, right? But he's not out there to make millions. He might make millions because that's the vessel he's building, but I love that concept. The idea then of quantum physics, that we are going to be, we can actually raise our vibration and get ourselves aligned with our true selves. And am I talking to Tanya specifically? No, the thing is, I never locked it. I did change the settings so that people couldn't turn on their mics or video. Since although I changed the settings of the actual meeting to have people come in muted and screens off, I'm showing up with the mic on. So I did that as a safety measure. See, I'm learning about Zoom. And people at Let's Get Infinite are helping me. People, Tanya. Because Carol needs to have a job on top of that. So there you go. Oh, 8:04. I'm really pushing it. I got to leave at 8:30, especially if I want to go grab myself something on the way. Yes, my long-winded explanation. Welcome. Welcome to my long-winded explanations of this website. Originally was born from my time learning about psychedelic assisted therapy. And that is because there are people out there who really should be promoted because they have been doing this for decades, etc., or they've had the education, which we can't say one is better than the other right now because it's not regulated. It's the same teachers teaching at VIU and at Messina. They're saying the same things, but is one better than the other? Maybe one's longer. Or is it like university and you learn a lot of excess shit that you don't ever use? Right? I don't know. Point being is that there are going to be people out there who have had training. Not only are certified as therapists, but now they have this background. I'm a pharmacist, not a therapist, but I can do sitting. I can sit with someone because I'm really good at space holding. I do it naturally. You'd think with my talking and my thinking that I couldn't do it, but I'm really present when people are there. I've done that at the back of the Room for Excellent Seminars International, who I love their courses. They're here, they work on the island in Vancouver and some in the States. I think there's even some in Mexico. I should join those ones. Good excuse. Anyway, point is, holding space is something that I feel is a strong characteristic of mine. And psychedelic assisted therapy is something I believe in. So perfect. Am I going to go try and get a job with it? Don't know. Maybe I can consult, but that's something I can put on the website. And that way, if people are getting, say, ketamine, I know in Alberta, there's a lot of ketamine clinics that is just a nurse, right? Which is fine. It seems to work because people then have therapy in between. And it's such a short session that maybe having a sitter isn't a big deal. But I went and sat with a friend of mine and drove him home because he couldn't, right, legally. And so, sat with him and had an opportunity to talk with him like that. I could probably consult on that, right, for other people to be their sitter and driver, etc., right? Allow them to decompress, because I believe that people can heal themselves. We all have an inner healing. We have the answer. We've just been spending way too much time surviving, using old things for an old identity that we outgrew. We outgrew our environment. We outgrew that identity, but our bodies didn't know that. We have a great security system that we have developed that is working in the wrong arena. They're kicking out the people that should be in our lives through bad behavior, or through no good and bad, through poor behavior, destructive ways of getting our needs met, right? So they're just ways of keeping us safe in a new environment that is already safe. So we need new skills, but our brain needs to see that. Psychedelics do that. Psychedelics help the transition. You still have to do the work. I love that. Right? So that's where this started. We didn't have an opportunity to cross-refer somebody in Vancouver. Like, somebody calls me up, and somebody actually did call me up yesterday on the WhatsApp because of the ads that we're doing, thinking that this was a website that actually had, like, call my number so they can get help. I have nothing for him because I have no practitioners yet. Most people don't even know we exist, right? But once that happens, a person can go in there and say, I have relationship issues. I have addictions to whatever. I have, I just need to believe in abundance, whatever, right? And they know that people on this site have been vetted. They're not shysters, which in the psychedelic assisted therapy area, there's loads because it's not regulated. This gray area is fabulous for people who have integrity and ethics. It's the people who don't that are going to keep psychedelics underground. Although I have my own conspiracy theory on why that stays, that why governments and commercial enterprises do not want psychedelics to, especially the pharmaceutical industry, but you didn't hear it from me. Because when people are healed, they don't buy, and they don't listen to endless streams of political BS to buy in what one guy says, or one woman said, one person says, right? So that's my personal, don't listen to me on that one, but that's what I believe. But in the end, the more people who aren't ethical and working in integrity in the psychedelic assisted therapy realm, like some guy got high in the woods one weekend and decided that they're going to have retreats from now on, those are the people that are going to hit the news, and more people are going to have that war on drugs. Some drugs should not be in regular circulation. Yeah. Psychedelics have the potential, and they're plants, most of them, right? Legalizing, like, how do we regulate a plant? It's weird. Anyway, on a spiritual level, is that if we have this space in the back where people who do psychedelic assisted therapy have been vetted that they've got some sort of course, or they've been doing it for years, or they have some sort of credential. They can be a cultural leader of some sort, or cultural healer who's done it for ever. They don't have to have a university degree to heal people. In the back room, we are able to cross-refer to each other and talk about those sessions that just don't feel right or went sideways to against our best efforts or whatever. We have a safe space to talk to others. And then we can do education, psychedelic education with other facilitators, with other coaches, therapists, retreats, etc. The education part of psychedelic therapy, assisted therapy. Not saying that you're doing it, because that's illegal, but we can educate people and have a solid ethical practice throughout Canada, because it's only Canadian practitioners. But that's just a section of the personal mastery. So that's where it was born. But this website is for everyone, energy healers. And I'm not even trying to diss like psychics, because there is part of energy healing is being able to tap in. We're all one conscious, right? So this has gone on way longer than I had anticipated, but I feel pretty good doing it. I'm going to head off to work and let y'all sit with what I had to deliver on the, so far, three main points of what CPIPM has been for me, where I see it going, where it started, how it happened. And the wonderful thing is, on the rerun, you can actually listen to this at double speed, like I do with everything. And then I just go back and listen to the parts that really resonate with me. So I appreciate those people who did show up, and I appreciate those who watch it later. So have a fabulous Thursday or Friday, Saturday, what day you're on. I will put a link to my Monday morning and Thursday morning breath work. Show up or don't. Keep your mic off, keep your phone off, just have headphones. Show up at 6:40 while I'm scrolling through, figuring out which one we're going to do in the morning. Just lay back. Turn it on at 6:40 with headphones on, ready to go. Know that you're all connected, and just wait. Stay in your pajamas, stay naked, I don't care, whatever, because we're not going to see you. I don't talk, you don't talk. We just listen to a session, and then we get on with our day. So that's long enough for me. Have a great time. Have a great day, no matter what day this is.